So tell us what you think, what you feel about Edgeryders conference. What are your impressions?
My impressions are very positive. I mean, what I was trying to say to you also a few minutes ago is that having the experience and being here is already a very positive thing. And I just wish that many more of the citizens of Thessaloniki would have that experience to exchange ideas, to get mingled with other European citizens, to have to sense a little bit the dynamic that was created here in that the session that we just had.
Oh, so it seems like you wanted to catch on because it's like a sort of open forum for conversations.
Yeah, but it's different to have the experience. I mean, to live that and not just to see it on a screen or to exchange views through a computer or PC or whatever or Mac. It's totally different to be here and when people approach you and ask questions and so on. This is much more interesting and this is something that really comes into your mind. And it's more active somehow. It's totally different.
Thanks. And my next question is, because Edgeryders conference is about transition, from youth to adult life. Can you pick some keystone which you think plays an important role in this transition, or maybe how do you experience it, and what is it like? Because transition is such a broad term.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned also a few issues at that session that we had, and we experienced that transition from an old city to a young city in Thessaloniki.
It's the other way around, from an old to a young one.
Yes, somehow, and I mean that requires a few actions. I mean, you have to apply a few policies in order to come to that next level, to come from an old city, old Greece, old Europe. I mentioned these also in the session. I said that Europe is in general an old continent and it needs fresh air.
It needs old world, isn't it?
Yes, old world. It needs the dynamic of the young people somehow. But you have to give motivation as a policy maker. I'm here as a policy maker. So you have to find ways to give motivation to young people to get involved again to that political process that would lead to the general feeling and to the policies that will show that there is a change and that the transition has been achieved in a way.
But what do you think is like just an example of what can give people motivation, first of all?
Yeah, for example, to have always a vision and an aim. I said that we made a bid for Thessaloniki becoming the European capital of youth. That motivated a lot of groups, a lot of creative teams, a lot of young people, a lot of youngsters coming to the closer to the political leaders, so to say, to the policy makers. We made an open call. We invited them to the municipality, and we started an open process, a platform actually, where we open it up to new ideas and to suggestions made by themselves. And that was a bottom-up, actually, process. And by gaining the bid and becoming the European capital of youth, that was a huge success, not of the city, not of the politicians. That was the big success for the young people of the city. And this gives even more motivation to them. Now we are building on that. We have working groups, we have workshops, and they are crowded by young people. And this is an energy that is spread in the city. And you have to change first the mood, the atmosphere, the image, and then the policies will follow.
Okay, if you have still a little bit of time, or do you want to go?
No, I have time.
Then I'm going to ask you about like some sort of negative question. What are challenges? Like, what are challenges for this dialogue, this communication process between people who are not really from, used to communicate with policymakers and the creative? What are the problems and challenges in this process?
There is no problem and challenges because actually we as a local government in Thessaloniki, we come from the civic society.
All
We are
right.
not party members. We are not politicians. We are not professionals.
That
I
explains
mean,
it all.
yeah, this is
The connection is established between
the connection is
civil
established. We
society.
come from the civic society. By myself, I had an NGO working on culture before becoming the deputy mayor for culture in Thessaloniki. So we come from the civic society. We are activists that suddenly came into power, and we are very we know of our duties. It's not that we neglect the duties, and we know that it's a different role, but we don't neglect our past, and we don't forget where we come from. So it was very easy for us to motivate these people that are active on a different level, not the official policy level, but the society level. And if we succeed in that, that would be a huge success for the city, because bringing together the policy makers with the society sensitive, with the sensors, so to say, of the society, that would lead to a very positive outcome, I think.
Census for society. That's really good concept. Well, I think we can just wrap up, and thank you for saying what you said.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. Yeah. We're done.